Port Angeles is a very unique destination. We're surrounded with a national park for our backyard, and our front yard is the Strait of Juan de Fuca, just a beautiful area with amazing environmental assets.
So, in the 70s, Port Angeles was this very booming blue-collar town, natural resource-based economy, really strong in terms of jobs.
In 2008, along with the rest of the country, our economy really suffered, and we're still struggling.
The community was still heavily dependent upon the mills. We had a large pulp mill here that employed about 300 of our citizens that was closed, and so there was a lot of apprehension by the community as to what's going to happen to our town now that one of our major employers has left.
So Port Angeles was a community in transition at that time. We saw a number of mills close down. We saw a transition from a natural resource-based economy to an economy that's a lot more diverse.
We're 18 miles from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and 100 years ago, their city council put in an investment to create a beautiful waterfront. So you take the ferry over and you go, wow, that's beautiful. Well, coming over to Port Angeles, our waterfront looked tired. And you're not just coming into Port Angeles, Washington, you're coming into the United States of America, and it didn't make a good presentation.
I would be on the front of the deck of in the passenger lounge at the ferry, and I could see people would get about halfway across the strait and look at it and say, they can't wait to get off the ferry. And the closer they would get to the waterfront, you could see it just kind of, just like, this is not what I was hoping it would be.
We get 3 to 4 million visitors a year for Olympic National Park. We also get between 300,000 and 400,000 going across to Victoria, British Columbia and coming to Port Angeles on the ferry crossing.
If each one of those people would stay for an extra hour or 2 hours and spend an extra $20 or $50, that would make an incredible difference.
My whole life, people have said, we're a waterfront city, why don't we fix up our waterfront? It was a little bit of an eyesore and we needed to improve it, but we didn't know how until the AIA group came.
Port Angeles long looked for someone to come out and really provide advice. One of the things that we looked at was the SDAT grant as an opportunity to get that outside eye perspective.
The AIA group came to town and they energized our entire community.
If you're coming through town in 2008, you see a town with lots of strengths, but you see a lot of gaps. Empty lots where nothing's going on, empty storefronts where nothing's going on, signs that are remnants. So you just have a lot of mishmash of things, and the mishmash hides the bigger picture, which is a wonderful town. What an SDAT is doing is, first of all, and probably most importantly, just listening to the community. So we're really trying to figure out, what's the community look like from local eyes? What do they see as the opportunities? What do they see as the challenges?
It is essential to involve the community in a process like this because the consultants, the design team will leave when our charge is done, but the community will own it, and the community will be the one who is making it live.
It was really done very professionally, and I like that because we had at least, seemed like a week of just interviewing local citizens. We need the outside experts to come in and sometimes tell us what other communities are doing, sometimes validate what we think we already know. It really was a catalyst for a lot of change, which was welcome change.
As follow-up to the SDAT process, we really wanted to get back to the public, and we did so pretty much immediately.
What came up to the surface quickly was that there were 2 or 3 things that we really need to be doing, some signage and things like that we knew we needed to do. But I would have to say the bulk of the focus, I believe, was along the waterfront because that was going to cost the most money and take the most time.
You have to start out where you get more bang for the buck. Which ones are going to make our town pop? This is the community's Waterfront. This is the community's future. This is the community's improvement. And this brings the community together. So now we have our wonderful esplanade. We're working on our West End Park and our new beaches. So we took the ideas, made the priorities, and then we went to work to make it happen. And the city is excited.
There was one day when I came here to look at the site, and there was a guy down on his hands and knees. He was probably 70 years old, and he was just carefully smoothing out the sidewalk. I mean, the walkway. I'd never seen anybody do. I mean, down on their hands and knees within a foot of the surface and just carefully sort of smoothing it out. And so I started chatting with him, and he said, you know, I'm about ready to retire. I'm a month from retiring. This is the last job I ever will do. This is the best job I ever want to do, and I want to show my grandkids this. And so that kind of personal dedication and kind of interest was just, you know, kind of touching.
I think the key points that I've learned is really what the true ingredients are to successful implementation. And I think those ingredients come back to excitement, civic pride, together we can positive attitude, and really momentum. Right off the bat, get a success. One of the things that was done locally is there was a program created called Community at Work Painting the Town, and we had businesses and property owners coming together, and they painted over 43 buildings in our downtown.
If there were one physical differential between 2008 and 2014, you would see more vibrancy, you would see more life and activity.
Now it has become a destination point in itself, where we have a lot of restaurants, antique stores. I really do think it's a place that now draws people in.
The revitalization, I think, has been a success. We're hearing nothing but positive things from folks who've been able to come down and walk the waterfront in the evening.
This process has demonstrated a steady commitment by city leadership, by the business community, by a variety of players to the single-minded purpose of reinvesting in the community's waterfront.
We have to believe in our vision, we have to believe in our community, and we have to believe in our future. We love the opportunity to partner with AIA. It's been a tremendous opportunity for us, and we value our partnership with AIA. It's really helped pull the city together, help us see how beautiful we are, and to take us from a down economy to focus on pulling ourselves up and working toward a future, and it's happening.